Hi, it's Robin. I've been working on a video about basic abbreviations and why they work, but it's turning out to be a lot of work. I started recording it last night and stumped myself within about 10 minutes and couldn't explain something, so I'm doing more research on that, and I'm going to get back to that soon. Just today, this new game, Neutron, by Sarah Jane Avory, was just released. So I bought a copy off of itch.io. I'll put some details in the description down below. It says it was for PAL only, but I thought I'd give it a try on my NTSC C128D here, and it seems to be working fine. It may be on later levels that's a bit glitchy. I don't know, but anyway, it is working okay on my NTSC machine, and it's only available as a cartridge file, but I've installed it on my EasyFlash cartridge, and I'll explain a bit more about that later. First, let's just look at the game, and then I'll go into a couple details that you might find interesting. Sarah's been working on a very impressive looking RPG for quite a while now, but recently took a break to work on this shooter. I know the feeling that a small project is nice to work on when you're in the middle of working on something really big. So here it is, we'll give it a try. I'm using my Starfighter joystick. We'll see if the fire button's annoyingly loud. So the game is really technically impressive. Really nice shooter. Excellent multiplexer. It's a lot of sprites on the screen at a time. And it has a big scrolling world that you're going through. Fairly generous collision detection. I've only played this a couple times before now and haven't done particularly good. There's some bit of a power up there. I managed to beat the first boss. I'll try and do that again. Shoot some of those ground targets. Or, well, not ground. So this first boss, seems I have to shoot those side weapons. Stage 1 cleared. That's close. The game's pretty generous on the collision detection. That power-up seems to make your shot. That power-up seems to make your shots go through obstacles. So I don't know if this is harder. I don't know if this is more difficult on NTSC or not. It's probably running faster. Yeah, I'm very impressed at how smooth everything is running, and that multiplexer is pretty amazing. I haven't seen any glitches yet. Okay, I guess it's the same boss. Note that this is a 16K game cartridge, which is pretty small by C64. Well, not small for cartridge sizes. A lot of game cartridges were 8K or 16K until another wave of game cartridges came out. Oh, here's a different tile level. That is a lot of sprites. Okay, game over, 30,000 even. That was the best game I've had of that. Okay, so that's Neutron by Sarah Jane Avory. And officially, it's only out on cartridge image as a digital download for PAL machines, but it's working fine on my NTSC machine. And I'll just give you a bit of information here about the EasyFlash. Let's power off the computer. So here's my EasyFlash cartridge. This is actually an older model. There's EasyFlash 3 available now, which I believe has more storage. I haven't bought one of those yet. This one's working fine for my purposes. So it's a regular cartridge with a regular edge connector there. And on the top it has a reset button. And then it's also got a switch, standard 2 positions. In the 1 position, it enables the cartridge. Of course, most cartridge programs, most games automatically boot up. So you can just flick it off, and that's necessary because if you want to program this cartridge, then it needs to be in the other position so that you can start up your computer normally, load the flash software, and actually flash it. So that's what that switch is for, and reset is just to restart it. You can actually, once it's plugged in, you can turn it off or on, and then press reset, so you don't actually have to pull the cartridge out. And as the name implies, I don't know if I've said that yet, this is a flash cartridge. It's programmable. I'll plug it back in and I'll show you how to flash it. Okay, so I've downloaded the EasyFlash software from the internet. I'll put a link to that down in the description below as well. Oh yeah, I miss my Super Snapshot cartridge, but we'll have to use the old-fashioned commands here. So it's this EasyProg program. This is the program that's downloadable from the website. It's what allows you to program or flash the EasyFlash cartridge. And the same program works on the newer EasyFlash 3 as well. I'll run that. Depacking. Okay, so this is version 1.7 of EasyProg from 2013. I guess that's the latest version available. Okay, and it tells you the flash driver and number of slots available. That's the size of the cartridge. Like I was saying, EasyFlash 3, I believe, has more space available on it. And you press M for the menu, and we're going to choose Write CRT. That's the cartridge image that I downloaded on my Mac. I transferred it over with my SD to IEC, the micro IEC. So when I bought the game from itch.io, I downloaded it, I saved on this SD card, and then that goes in the micro IEC. This is from Jim Brain. There's other alternatives available like this as well. It gets powered off the cassette port, and you can plug in over IEC. You know how I use my C128D sideways? The one big problem with that is that the cassette port, which it uses for power, is located right down in here in the way of my keyboard, so it really makes a mess. It looks really ugly if I was to try and record this. So anyway, I've transferred over to floppy using the Jiffy DOS file copier. I can make a video about that sometime if you guys really want to see that, but I believe there's already videos on YouTube about how to use that. Okay, back to this. Write the cartridge to flash, and it scans the directory. And the one we want to use is neutron.crt. That's the file that I got from itch.io. I was actually messing around. There's a program built into Vice called cartconv, I believe. I can put a link to some description about that down below too, which allows you to convert cartridge files into program files or binary files and back again. CRT files were originally emulator files, but this program and cartridge know how to deal with them as well. Actually, what I was trying to do originally was to convert Neutron into a PRG file that you could load and run from disk. I actually spent about an hour disassembling the program and trying to get it to work. But the way C64 cartridges work is that they sit on top of the RAM at location 8000 hex, and a 16K cartridge like this one goes from 8000 all the way up to BFFF, which replaces some of the basic ROM. So that was already a little tricky to deal with, but I worked through some of that. And then I hit the point where the program actually uses the RAM under the cartridge ROM. And what I was trying to do was just load the program directly into that RAM, so I could just run the game from RAM, but it's in the same address space. And so when it's running from the cartridge ROM, it can use the RAM underneath additionally. It's an interesting thing about the C64 is because of how the memory banking works, you could actually have a 16K cartridge game and still have all 64K of RAM available underneath as well. That was a big diversion. Anyway, back to neutron.crt. Okay, it loads the file and it makes sure that you want to erase your EasyFlash cartridge. Are you sure? Press enter. Here it goes, it's programming it. And the flashing screen is normal. Congratulations, writing to flash completed. Congratulations everybody, we wrote to flash. Okay, so it's ready now. Now notice that if I'll press the reset button on the EasyFlash cartridge, it'll actually boot into C128 mode because the cartridge is disabled right now, force into C64 mode by resetting with the Commodore key held down. But right now the EasyFlash is disabled, so that's why it's not starting. So we'll just hit that switch on the back there, move it over to the left, press the reset button again, and that's the EasyFlash boot up screen. But interestingly, you can actually choose keyboard controls. That's not all that common. I always find this a little confusing as a user interface when it says F1 joystick. That makes me wonder, do you have to press F1 to enable the joystick? Or does that mean it's currently joystick mode? I think in this case, it means that it's currently in joystick mode. I think it was the Atari games that really had confusing wording on that. The early Atari games for the Commodore. More episodes about programming should be coming really soon now. Sorry for the delay there. I hope you still found this interesting anyway. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next time.